Hey, what is going on, guys? Daniel from ModBot here, and in this video I am very excited to share with you a 3D printer, a first look at the Neva 3D printer by Dagoma. This is a Delta style 3D printer that is actually still on Kickstarter. I believe it has 10 to 12 days left or so, and they have reached over three times their initial goal, which is really awesome. So I feel very privileged that I have my hands on one of these when they're not even being shipped out for quite a while still. I was contacted by somebody over from Dagoma, and they asked me if I would like to review one for my channel, and I hadn't heard or known much about this printer or this company beforehand. The only thing I could find on this printer online really was a little snippet or a sneak peek from Joel Telling, the 3D printing nerd, from when he was at CES earlier this year. So I did a little bit of research as much as I possibly could, but most of the information was just on Kickstarter, and the company is a French company, and they have been making 3D printers in France for some time now, pretty successfully, and they are also doing pretty well in Europe, and this is kind of their first stepping stone printer that they're targeting, I guess, at the United States audience, and they actually have either opened or in the process of opening currently, as of right now, a factory, manufacturing factory in California, which is really neat. This 3D printer is partially 3D printed, actually, the frame, a good portion of it. So the top and the bottom is 3D printed, I believe, along with the extruder. The extruder is, and the whole hot end assembly is 3D printed as well, which is pretty cool. It's very cool, actually. And this printer, I gotta say, I've pretty much only messed with 3D printer kits, with the exception of a couple 3D printers. And this 3D printer blew my mind right out of the box in terms of just how clean it looked. It was just such a nice looking 3D printer, and the fact that I was able to set it up in 2 or 3 minutes flat. I mean, it says it comes pre-assembled, and they're not lying, it does come pre-assembled. All that it really requires you to do is connect these 6 arms for the extruder that basically connects to the mechanisms that move up and down, which allows the head of the 3D printer to move up and down. Aside from that, you have to remove 3 little plastic clips that kind of help hold the frame together, and to get it calibrated, it's as easy as holding down the button on the front, plugging in the power cable, and it does its magic. It takes about 3 minutes initially to set up, and it just goes around probing various points on the bed, then homing itself, and then repeating the process a few times until it is complete. And it is a extremely simplistic looking 3D printer. You've got a power jack port, you've got a USB port, you've got a button on the front, and a SD card slot. That is it. And with the button on the front, you can use it to start a print or pause a print. The SD card slot is, you load up a file on there, put it in the printer, press the button, and it prints. So their goal with this, it seems to me, was to make it as simplistic as possible, where pretty much anybody could use this 3D printer, because again, there's no bed leveling, there's no interface menu. It's intended to just work. And the bed actually has a sensor in it, so if you want to change your filament, or if you want to do a different color halfway through your print, you can literally press the button in the front, which would pause a print, and you double tap on the bed, and it will basically back out the filaments. That way you can easily put in new filament, which is a really cool and simple, effective way to really make it simple to do multicolored prints, which I really like. Now, there's a couple things that some of you might see as downsides to this 3D printer, which depending on what your purpose is with it, is possible. And the first thing is that this thing does not have a heated bed. It uses something that's similar to that of like a BuildTech layer, which it's called Build Grip, and it is only intended to print with PLA, which for me is 99% of what I print with. It's fine. And their goal, they said, was to make it as environmentally friendly as possible by using a material that doesn't put off a bunch of fumes and is somewhat biodegradable. And so that's one thing. On top of that too, I was able to test out some of their beta software, which is basically a dummy down version of Cura, which only has like 3 or 4 options in terms of like layer height and thickness. And again, I think they did this to try to make it as easy for people that don't have 3D printer experience to use. But they did say, I was told, that you can use it with your normal slicers as well. Again, it's been a little bit tough kind of messing with certain parts of it for me, like not using the printer but just understanding it, because there's not a lot of documentation right now since it's not even available truly. But at first glance, the machine looks beautiful. It is extremely solid and extremely easy to set up. I cannot wait to run a test print on this, and if you're interested in finding out more, I'll place a link in the description down below to the Kickstarter as well as the website. Don't forget to smack the like button, guys, and subscribe for more great videos, and a test print will be coming on this printer very soon. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we just hit 20K, which is insane. You guys rock. Thank you so much for that, and I cannot wait to see you all in my next video. Peace, guys.